Ladies and gentlemen, the mid-season event has just been announced, and there are massive patch notes coming to Apex Legends this coming Tuesday, just a few days from the release of this video. In this video, I'm going to explain everything that's going on, including the collection event, the new quads game mode, and some seriously big, impactful patch notes that a lot of people have been waiting for a long time. So if you guys find something in this video you find useful or want to share with a friend, please do. Every question that you might have, go ahead and put them down in the comments, but I'm going to go through everything that they've listed in these patch notes, and you should have pretty much all of your questions answered. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting from the top, get ready to rumble, Legends. It's time we had our first collection event of the season, and we hope you've got an extra friend or two because Quads is coming to Apex Legends. This all new 4 Legend squad takeover is the best kind of chaos, amped up with the new strats and team comps. And you already know there's a fresh batch of skins. Collect all 24 mind-bending cosmetics before the event ends to receive Lifeline's prestige skin, Apex Corruptor. Plus, earn 1.5 times towards total prestige skin challenges during the entire event. No longer will you have to decide which of your 3 friends will be in your squad for the Apex Games. Bring all 3. Until the end of the season, your squad of 4 will take on 14 other squads in an attempt to become the Apex champions. Team compositions, they're a whole other vibe with a 4th. Strategies to outsmart and outplay your enemies? We hope you've got your comms down. This is a new gen of Apex. The loot pool has also been updated to avoid infighting for more ammo, more attachments, and more regen items. You may even have a small chance to obtain a blue or purple kitted weapon. Unfortunately, Tridents are too small to squeeze a 4th on board, but let them walk. If you've been more of a team player, there's always evac towers for Valkyrie's ult. And Skyward Dive, along with other legend abilities, have also been updated to support a 4th. Moving on to the collection event items here, we do see a little preview of a little bit. You can see more in the trailer. The trailer has just been released on Apex's YouTube channel. You guys can go check that out. But there's a lot of interesting stuff here that I really enjoy. It's basically a mismatch of a bunch of other legends that now have skins to look like different ones. So Revenant looks like Conduit, Crypto looks like Fuse, Octane looks like Alter, and vice versa. It's very interesting. It's quite the interesting mishmash they've got going on here. I'm a fan of it. First things first, Direct Unlock is back. All 24 double take limited time cosmetics can be unlocked via event packs or individually. And we're bringing a ton of legendary skins for this one. Octane, Crypto, Fuse, Conduit, Revenant, everyone's new favorite Alter, and an arsenal of weapons, including one for the Havoc, which a lot of you have been using lately. Yes, they are aware that the Havoc is super meta. Unlock them all before the event ends to automatically receive Lifeline's prestige set, including her new skin Apex Corruptor and the finisher Ridiculous. So I'm a fan. I think the finisher is pretty crazy. I like the skin pretty good. I mean, she kind of looks like Winnie the Pooh to me, if we're gonna be honest. Maybe it's just the yellow with the little things coming out like where her buns usually are on the top of her head. But regardless, I think the skin looks really cool. I think a lot of Lifeline mains are gonna be really happy about it. Of course, this event has a reward tracker. You can earn up to 1,400 points daily. There's a maximum of 5,000 points in different skins, holo sprays, charms, and things that you can earn. And then the store tab, there will be bundles that you can buy several things, just like any other collection event, things that you should be used to this point. We have our newest Rumble as well, the Ranked Rumble. Finish off your ranked season by finding out who takes the top in our very first Ranked Rumble, August 3rd to August 6th, 2024. Upheaval's regular ranked season will be shorter when Ranked Rumble takes over, but this is all about the best of the best. Each ranked tier will qualify for their very own leaderboard, with each one having a unique badge that can be earned. Squad up with your friends to complete your 10 Ranked Rumble matches, pushing your score and placement as high as possible. No need to opt in. Everyone who has already achieved or ranked this season is auto-eligible. Your Ranked Rumble placement will have no impact on your RP or ranked season placement or rewards. Those are locked in before the Ranked Rumble becomes available. How will you stack up against everyone else in your rank? I'm a fan of this. I'm glad. I thought we needed more Rumbles. In my last video, I mentioned they should have one. Glad they're having one at the end of the season. It'll be interesting to see it in ranked. I wonder how it's going to be scored, but we'll find out. Now to the patch notes. This is what most of you guys are here for. This is what you want to see. And there are some seriously impactful patch notes here, so we're going to read through them. Again, if you guys have questions, hopefully they're answered in this section. If they're not, feel free to leave a comment. I'm happy to respond as quick as possible. Care package. Purple light mag will be added to the care package. You actually couldn't get that in a care pack before. The new gold weapons rotation, Nemesis, Triple Take, Peacekeeper, Prowler, and Longbow DMR are all going to be gold. End rings. End rings now have more even distribution throughout the map. Each quadrant of the map now has a roughly 25% chance of getting selected. There's a lot of talk about this in ALGS because it seems like most zones on World's Edge are ending in the north. So it's nice to see that it's now going to be much more evenly spread out. Survival slot items. Survival slot items have been redistributed to low-tier loot zones. Survival slot items like evac towers, heat shields, mobile respawn beacons, they were not respawning or not spawning at all in different areas. So I'm glad that they have adjusted that. So now you can get heat shields in lower tier loot areas. Weapons and attachments. I'm excited about this one. G7 Scout damage increased to 33, was 32. In my last YouTube video, I mentioned that I believe that the G7 Scout should get a little bit of a buff to try and be on par with the Hemlock, and they're finally doing it. I'm thrilled about that. The rate of fire has also been increased, but they have adjusted the recoil to be more consistent when firing at max fire rate. Actually, no, that's better. That's also a buff. The G7 Scout has felt a little underwhelming, and our data backs that up. When we were evaluating its rate of fire, we realized its recoil could use a pass as well, so we've smoothed out what we think the roughest spots are and given it a little more damage. This should help the G7 be competitive with the rest of our marksman and sniper roster. I'm telling you right now, I think the G7 Scout is going to be up there with the Hemlock as far as the best ranged weapons this next half of the season. Take that one to the bank. I'm pretty sure you're going to see a lot of G7s in your games. The Havoc Rifle, thank God they are nerfing this gun. All magazine sizes reduced. No mag is down to 20 bullets. It was 24. White mag down to 24. Was 28. Blue mag, purple mag also go down by 4 each. So the gun just has 4 less bullets, which makes sense. The Havoc is so strong. Why did it have 36 bullets? Why did it have 6 more bullets in a flatline? Anyway, dev note, the Havoc is a force to be reckoned with. Even without all the bells and whistles of mags and turbochargers, it still puts in work. However, 36 rounds in a kitted Havoc, even with the firing delay, represents high damage uptime and forgiveness for wasted rounds, often experienced during pre-firing. Pulling back on magazines allows it to remain deadly, but requires a little bit more precision. This is good. It's still really strong. Now it's just not a SMG plus AR plus light machine gun all in one. I think this is good. This was hopefully all it needs to make it not so oppressive and overpowered. I think this is fine. It's still going to be really strong. I'm a fan. I think this is a good change. The longbow DMR gets a little bit of a buff. The headshot multiplier has been increased to 2.25 instead of 2.15. The R99, they reduced the hipfire randomness. It just means that the hipfire is a little bit better. That's really the only thing. If you're hipfiring the R9 a lot, this will matter, but I think most of the time players won't be experiencing this buff very often. Rampage LMG, the firing animation has less vertical movement while in ADS. All that means is that the gun isn't going to jump as much. It's not getting more accurate, but when you shoot the Rampage, it kind of like bumps up and down visually. It doesn't affect where the bullets go, but now it's just going to be a little bit less in your way. Weapon rarity sets. The Peacekeeper will be blue and purple. Optic updated to 1x HCOG. This is like solos and quads where you get the fully kitted weapons. Charge Rifle and Sentinel that are purple. The optic is going to be a 4x8 instead of a 2x4, but in gun run, it's going to keep the 2x4. And then the 4x10 digital threat scope will no longer provide threat vision through smoke or gas, which is very interesting. And you're going to see more on that in a little bit when it comes to the legends. Speaking of the legends, we're already here. Alter, the Void Passage. Crypto EMP will now affect all players phased by the Void Passage. This is because you could kind of dodge Crypto EMP, either your teammates or an enemies, by going through the Void. I think now they want to kind of stop that because it was kind of cheese with how quickly you get out. So they're eliminating that. Bangalore Smoke Launcher. All players within smoke will now have a white highlight visible to other players in smoke within 20 meters. What does this mean? It does not mean that if you are outside of a smoke looking in, you are going to see highlights and shoot right through them. That's not the case. All this is going to be is a slight visibility buff to when you're trying to fight someone inside the same smoke. So if you smoke your feet and you and another enemy are trying to shoot each other with shotguns, there's going to be a little bit of an outline to each of you. I think that's their way of trying to make it not seem so helpless when you're fighting in a smoke right now, because there's no digi threats, so it's impossible to see. And that's an annoying experience, so I imagine they're trying to cut that out by making it have a little bit of a white outline around the character. I don't know if this is going to be good or not, because this is a little bit of a Bangalore nerf, and she's great right now, but being able to have a white highlight in a smoke, I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. We will find out, but it is something that they're going to attempt here in this next update. Bloodhound Beast of the Hunt threat vision is no longer visible through smoke or gas. So just like the threat vision scope, the 4x10 optic, you won't be able to see through smoke or gas. Now, remember, with Bloodhound, this isn't going to be that big of a deal, because if you're Bloodhound, you're trying to fight in Bangalore smoke, there's now a white outline on the character. So if you run inside the smoke, you're going to get the white outline like everyone else. Now it's just so you can't stand 300 yards away, look into someone else's smoke with a sniper and see someone crouched hitting a battery. Now, that's not going to be the case. Overall, I think it's a big change to Bloodhound, a big change to Bangalore, which has been the two very dominant metas in professional play and at high-level ranked play. They're very common. I don't think this kills them, but it definitely impacts them, and I think you're going to see them both picked a little bit less. The upgrades, Raven's Blessing ult charge has been reduced to 20%, so it gives you 1/5 of your ult instead of 25%. And then upgrades level 3, they have 2 new perks for level 3 Bloodhound. Sighthound reduces tactical cooldown by 50% while the ultimate is active, so you can choose that and kind of spam your scan a little bit more. And then new Flock, remove enemy range requirement for White Raven spawns. Basically, all that means is you can charge your ultimate over and over and over again, no matter how close enemies are. You're still going to get those Ravens. I think both of these are useful, and we'll see which one people end up. If you have a lot of ult excels, you probably pick Sighthound. If you don't, you probably pick Flock. Pathfinder, upgrade level 3, down and away. Tactical will now refresh on both knocks and assisted knocks within a 3-second window. So if you shoot someone and you don't get the knock, but your teammate knocks them within 3 seconds, you will now get your tactical again. I think that's good because sometimes Pathfinder would go all in and he would try and, bank on having his tactical again, and the teammate would steal the kill, and now Pathfinder is just dead. That's not the case anymore, which is great. Revenant, upgrade level 3, Grim Leaper. The tactical will now refresh on both knocks and assists. Same exact story as Pathfinder. I don't think Revenant needed this because he also has 75 extra health, but that's neither here nor there. The maps for pubs, we're going to be on Broken Moon, Kings Canyon, and Olympus. That's going to be the rotation. On ranked, it's the same maps. Not the same maps, excuse me. We got Broken Moon, Olympus, and World's Edge. So instead of Kings Canyon, we are going to have World's Edge for ranked. And then the game modes, we've got quads, which is replacing the duos playlist for the second half of the split. As you guys might recall, there have been no duos. It's been solos. So solos is getting the boot for a moment. The loot improvements, you're going to find a chance of blue and purple kitted weapons, but it's not only fully kitted weapons like you sometimes see in solos. There's increased light, heavy, and energy ammo boxes everywhere. There's a lot more stuff. There's more replicators in the map. The lobby supports a 4th player for inviting and previous match squad members. All the different things that are required to make the game a little bit more playable for squads of 4 instead of squads of 3. Loba's ultimate has a UI to support a 4th player. The Vantage passive can spot the 4th player. Valkyrie's ultimate, Mirage's decoy, etc., etc., etc. All this type of stuff just adds a 4th player so the game plays normally. Solos, it will be an LTM. It will still make a return, but it'll be here July 9th through July 22. And then mixtape, you can see lockdown. They've added the core and estates. Mixtape map rotations are going to be Caustic, Labs, and Thunderdome for control, estates, fragment, and zoo station for gun run, team deathmatch, habitat, the core, and estates. And then it's going to alternate every 2 weeks or so. You guys can see on the screen the rest of them there. I'm not going to read them all out because it is a long list and would legitimately take me 5 minutes. Ranked is getting a little bit of an update as well. This is very interesting to me because I felt like the points in ranked were decent right now, but it seems like they want to make a little bit of a change here. Ranked Rumble takes over the normal ranked league at the end of the season, but ranked entry cost, placement and KP, tuning updated too. This is for normal ranked. Lower entry cost above bronze tier. Gold has gone down 5 points. So has platinum. So has diamond. Placement RP tuning now follows ALGS rules that the top 15 will gain points. So it's not gaining points as in you come in 15th place and you go positive for the game. Now you're just going to get some placement points at 15th place and 14th place. Right now you would get 5 and 13th. And then kill point tuning. You're going to get a little bit more points for kills in 8th, 7th, and 6th. Right now, your kills at that, placement level aren't that good. It really jumps up at 5th place and up. But now, if you come in 8th with a good amount of kills, your kills are going to be worth a little bit more. Same with 7th and same with 6th. Then there's some bug fixes here. 33 repeater no longer swaps to a different reticle when reloading. Evo harvester icons are fixed. There's some DirectX 12 PC graphics. I'll leave this all on screen for a moment. And then there's a couple legend bugs that they have fixed, such as altered players no longer get stuck in the ceiling and floor. Stuck projectiles such as arc stars now fall off correctly. Tax void siphon, the interactable part, no longer misses a cooldown. Catalyst piercing spikes are no longer activated by Marvins. Alter Wraith and Ash, the highlighting no longer reveals the real Mirage. So Mirage gets a little bit of a buff there. That was a bug, not a perk for these legends. Octane gets extra velocity from upgraded jump pad using certain inputs. So the skibbity jump, the whatever people were calling it, that's gone. And then Revenant, Ash's arc snare no longer occasionally bounces off 4 shadows. And then a few quality of life adjustments, such as things like the health wheel can now be chosen or closed on controller with left trigger. You can use alters, different voice lines, different things. There's logic to prevent for the placing of a void passage that result in falling to your death, etc., etc. Mixtapes had a little bit of adjustments as well. I'll slowly scroll through this briefly because a lot of this stuff is not super impactful, but it's just kind of quality of life general changes, like the capture border and lockdown changes to show the color of the team in the zone. So there's all that type of stuff right there. And then some more DirectX 12 quality of life stuff. And that's it. That is all of the patch notes, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I think this is real, substantial, good change, and I'm thrilled about it, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. Of course, I'll answer as many questions as I can in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to share this with a friend and let me know what you think about this mid-season update, and I'll catch you all in the next one.